Hey everyone, and welcome back to BeTerrific. I'm Andrea Fasano, and we are here live at NAB in Las Vegas 2016. It is so awesome here today. Day 2 at NAB, lots going on, and right now I have Dave, one of the founders of Wowza, a live streaming and cloud services company, correct?
Absolutely. Well, actually, we do it all. Live, video on demand, remote recording, video chat.
Everything.
Yeah, if it can happen, we do it.
And I am so amazed by anybody who gets involved with this type of business, because from the backside, for me, it sounds complicated. Like how you would even think of getting into it. Yeah. How did you?
It wasn't on purpose,
really?
To be honest with you. So my co-founder and I, Charlie Good, simply wanted to work together. And this is the 5th business that I've started.
Okay.
And what we realized...
That alone in itself is a feat, so congratulations.
Well, I'm just kind of ornery and I can't work for anyone else, so that's what it comes down to. I think I have a very acerbic personality.
Okay.
But we just wanted to work together. So we realized that cool businesses usually come out of other businesses. So we had this flash of brilliance, like sheer brilliance. We're going to start a business arbitrarily. If after 3 months we couldn't support a daily Starbucks habit, we had to pivot.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we literally spent, I think, maybe 30 minutes trying to decide what business to be into. And we chose video blogging, not knowing anything about video at the time. This
Seriously?
is 10 years ago. Yeah, a little more than 10 years ago.
What?
Yeah. And so we mashed together WordPress and this other media server, thou shalt not be named.
Okay.
And quickly figured out, and Charlie's the smart one, right? He's the technical guy. And he said, there's no way we can build a business on this, right? It's not stable, it's not flexible enough. He goes, I'll just write something.
Right.
And it was what he wrote was a 220 kilobyte, tiny Java servlet that recorded video.
Okay.
And 3 months went by, we couldn't afford coffee. So we changed that into video messaging for social media.
Okay.
And that was a beautiful product, called it SideFlex. It looked really good. Still couldn't buy any coffee off of that. But people
and
found
not just
out
any coffee, Starbucks coffee.
You got to go with the somewhat expensive stuff. Yeah, actually the $5
well,
cup.
But that's a really good idea, because no matter, I mean, for anybody to feel like that's a treat, you're looking at it in a very reasonable, real way.
Oh, absolutely.
In terms of having a business. So.
Yeah, businesses run on cash flow, and we're unusual in that regard as well. And so people found out that we had our own server and literally begged us to buy it, because they felt the same way. The existing products did not meet their needs and wanted something. So, this is a geeky product, and I'm a geek. I love it, right?
Yeah.
It's all good. We launched in February of 2007. We actually became cash flow positive our very first month. And today it's 9 years later after we're shipping. We have 19,000 customers, just about every country on the planet. 40% of CDNs use us to deliver media.
Wow.
70% of the enterprise video platforms use us. We do live on demand, remote recording chat. Just on the live side, about 15 million viewing hours per day goes through Wowza's streaming engine. And we think that's maybe 25% of the industry.
Unbelievable.
It's kind of crazy.
That is kind of crazy. And if you said your partner is the smart one, then
absolutely.
How did
Thank
you
goodness
understand what you were getting into when you guys decided to do this?
When
it actually got to that platform?
Well, we didn't, in honesty. Which
I think is cool, and I appreciate your honesty about it,
Well, yeah, that's kind of the fun part. That's the game. You have to figure it out. And the hard part is you have to engage with customers, and you make that realization that what they say, what they mean, what they want, and what they need are not all the same thing. And it's our job, being in business, is to try to reconcile that.
Right.
And make sure what they need is what they want, and deliver it to them in a reasonable way.
That's so great. And why the name Wowza?
It's my wife's fault.
Really?
Totally, yeah. So when we started this, we had no idea what business we were going to be in. When we started, we'd probably do something in video, whatever. And my wife's like, wow, Wowza. And at the time, WowzaTV.com was available, and Wowza.tv was available. Like, hey, that's good enough. It wasn't the name of the first couple of products. And then when we decided to turn it into a software company, we just like, well, we have Wowza. We'll call it Wowza Media,
how
and let's
funny.
go from there.
I love
Like,
stories
so
like
much
that.
thought, right?
Tons.
Yeah, you've got all these, some startups spend $100,000 trying to come up with a name.
Right.
Right, and they come
With
up
focus
with
groups
Yeah.
and everything, colors.
and they come up with like face blue or something like that.
Right.
It's like, okay, whatever.
Wowza stands out.
It does, and it took us a couple of years to get Wowza.com, but
Yeah.
we finally managed to buy it.
So where is Wowza now today in 2016? As
Colorado,
far as,
actually.
Well, yeah, there you go. But I mean, as far as a service, and like you said, you hit all these platforms and so many users, and you have partnerships, right?
We have. So we're number one in the space, right? We are the most prevalent media server out there, and it's kind of weird. We power so many things. About a year and a half ago, I was speaking with an analyst that you tell my story. It's like, so what do you think? And this person just stabs me in the heart and says, fundamentally, Wowza's just not interesting. Right? You hear that and you're like, you just remove the oxygen from the room. That's no fun. And I'm like, why? Why? I want to know why, because I want to fix it. Everyone does what you do. Really? Who? And they named 7 Wowza customers. 7 customers who are built on Wowza.
No way.
And that's where we are in the industry.
So he just didn't know.
No. Well, because truth is, our customers fight hard to keep it that way. Because, we are. It's kind of weird if you're the secret sauce behind everything. It's like ketchup and mayo, right? It's everybody's secret sauce, and it's ketchup and mayo, right? It's still awesome, but and it works on a burger. So we're in a lot of different places, and we've been moving more towards managed services, more towards the cloud. We began offering Wowza on the cloud in 2007, as a matter of fact. It was crazy. 16 cents of revenue in December of 2007 on the cloud. It wasn't much. But about 20% of our servers are deployed on a cloud today. We've got great relationships with Amazon and Google and Microsoft, and that's becoming more and more prevalent. And we're able to remove that DevOps and SysOps cost from our customers by moving to the cloud, handling that managed service.
Now, it's so funny, the word wow, like I just said wow 3 times to you telling me the statistics about what's happening with your company, because it is amazing. And I don't know if you and your partner both saw something or you didn't plan on it, but you were trying to plan on where things are going in the future. So I feel like you said
do.
Back in 2007, did you say?
It's when we launched.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't know that even the cloud, how that's going to work, or other people don't know how to use that kind of at that moment. And now everybody's like, oh, we need our stuff backed up. We need it available. We need to reach it. It's unbelievable, really.
Business is dynamic. That's the cool part of that. And now we're over 100 people. It's hard to maintain that agility, and you oftentimes have to slow down to go fast, right? You have to put processes in place and really push people to contribute and fight with me and fight with Charlie and no, it's actually an important thing, because you get into this area where you ask someone, hey, have you thought about this? And the next thing I know is, Dave told me to do X. Like, no, I actually just want to know if you were thinking about it. I just was curious, and that's all. And so we spend a lot of time on our culture and a lot of time, pushing people to make mistakes, right? Be aware of where the problems are and make sure you don't do anything fatal, because that's not a good thing. But businesses are pretty resilient. If you think about the data, you think about the customer. Our purpose as a company is to help customers thrive and drive the streaming revolution, right? It's written down, it's available to everyone, it's in the kitchen, that sort of thing. And in the end, running a business is like playing jazz, right? You don't know where it's going all the time. You don't even know when it's going to end sometime, which could be awesome when you get a 30-minute jam.
I love that you just made that comparison. What a cool thing.
But it's so true, right? And if you're when you're with professionals, it comes out great. If you're with amateurs, not so much.
Right.
And it's one of those things where everyone in the band's got to play. Right? It's not about the single superstars.
Right.
And that's so important.
So how do you apply that here to NAB, especially this year? What's going on for you guys here, and how are you liking it?
Loving it.
Yeah.
This is a phenomenal show for us every year, but this year is something special for sure. We have more announcements now than we've ever had before. You know, with Wowza Streaming Cloud, we launched that about a year ago, and was a self-managed service, but we announced the API on Wowza Cloud. Our target was always service providers. Now you can drive it all programmatically, and our cloud runs on multiple clouds, multiple CDNs. It's incredibly powerful. The kind of dirty secret behind our business is we have 19,000 customers in just about every country on the planet. And we built that with English only, email only, US business hour only support. And we launched 24/7 support with 30-minute service level agreements to the world. And so now, you know, our stuff works, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But now it's just a new level of comfort for our customers, great way to engage with them, because we want that information back. We also launched the Wowza Go Coder SDK, which is a live encoding product for iOS and Android. Go Coder's been out as a free product for a while, but now it's an SDK where people can build on top of it. And it's kind of crazy. You build these things thinking one thing, and you look at an app, you're like, I never would have thought about that, and some crazy stuff is coming out. It's exciting. I love seeing entrepreneurs use our stuff, because I had no freaking idea.
Yeah. I was talking about that today, even with a camera operator, that sometimes when he buys a product and he's asked to do something else by his director or whoever else, you have to figure that out, and it kind of creates a new product out of it, or a new way to use it at least, that the manufacturer didn't intend.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of amazing. Like I said, the whole idea of streaming just blows my mind, because
it's wicked, isn't it?
It really is. And I go, well, why can't somebody else do what you guys are doing? Or is it a matter of coding? You know, all this stuff. And I'm just like, I mean, do you have an answer to that? Like,
well, yeah, I mean, so I call this our unfair advantage.
Yes.
I mean, we've been in business 10 years, and the unfair advantage of Wowza that we pass on to our customers is we work in such a wide variety of environments. We take just about any input and turn it into anything on the output side. And when you have streamlined workflow, it's so much easier. But you know, we had this interesting thing yesterday. We've got VR cameras all over the booth, and they all work, right? And you got to get the right player and all that. And people came in and like, no one's been able to get this to work. Like, you got to be kidding me. It's not that complicated.
Right.
But the truth is, with all these cameras, they're all manufactured a little bit different. They're putting things out in just a little bit of a different way. We're the Rosetta Stone of video and audio. we turn it into something that's understandable throughout the system.
That's
and
great.
that, I think, is our long-term advantage. We were architected for that, and it's enabled us to stay ahead of the curve for 10 years.
I'm glad you put it that way, because that makes a lot of sense to me. So that's very cool. Good for you guys. And I know you said you had VR all over the booth. I kind of want to come by and see what you're doing over there. But how are you liking the VR movement?
It's trippy. I mean, right now, it's a lot of parlor tricks going on right now. But I don't think it's going the way of 3D. Right? I think it's going to be useful over the long term.
That's been the biggest conversation, I think, at NAB in general. Is it a fad like 3D, or is it its own entity?
I think it's very different in that I don't see storytelling in virtual reality, right? You can't direct the eye, you can't manipulate emotions, which is what storytelling is all about. But for gaming, for experiencing things, for industrial applications and security, I think it's huge.
Yeah.
And then when we start to augment that video, that's when it gets really
crazy.
Interesting. Yeah.
That's where the trippy comes in.
Yeah. Do all sorts of weird stuff.
Well, Dave, thank you so much for joining us here on BeTerrific. Is there anything else you'd like to tell our viewers about Wowza?
So you can learn everything you need at Wowza at www.wowza.com.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you to Wowza, because we use you at times, and I know Michael's very happy with you guys, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you guys stay right there. We have so much more coming to you here live at NAB 2016. You're watching BeTerrific, and we will be right back after this.